Whether they read it in their papers or listened to rumors, young Americans heard that Canada was accepting war resistors. A growing number headed north from their homes to the nearest Canadian big city, Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, where volunteer organizations were ready to help the new exiles get settled. The Toronto anti-draft program was funded primarily by Canadian churches and staffed by earlier expatriate Americans like Naomi Wall.
Word was getting out that Americans were coming up and they needed places to live, and so I volunteered our home. And my initial activity was to house American draft dodgers and deserters in our basement. That's how we began. That's how my work began. And so we lived with guys. And we met guys, deserters, we met draft dodgers, we met women who traveled with them, we met women who came on their own, we met family members, we housed cats, dogs, possessions, babies. Getting them through the immigration process in many cases was a very difficult thing to do. It could take months to get people's documents, and so a lot of men and women who came up as well spent weeks, months in limbo, you know, and we had to find people in the community to house people, to feed people, because in most cases they weren't able to work until they were immigrated.
I remember it was one of the most striking aspects of life in Toronto in the period, say, 68, 69, 70. There was a draft dodgers district, or so I thought. And for a while, I used to see them regularly because there was a list of people who would try to help draft dodgers find jobs. And I was on that list under journalism. It was the greatest country in the world, most powerful country in the world, being deserted by some very intelligent and bright young people. They were walking away from the fire. Almost everyone I knew was sympathetic to the draft dodgers. And so they'd put them up in their spare room or something. I remember a professor at the University of Toronto I knew said that every time he came downstairs, it seemed there was another body on the floor of the living room or something. I can remember him saying something like that.
You know, those years in the late 60s, early 70s, I was having a ball. I mean, it was really just, you know, one of the most stimulating periods of my life. And in many ways, it wasn't that tough a period for those of us who thought we were really doing something productive and we were really saying something.